Welcome back to the Free Mouse MC, and we're today doing the 10,000 subscriber Q&A. And first of all, thank you for 10,000 subscribers. This is so amazing. It was a lot of tough work over the last 1.5 years, and I'm so happy to have reached this milestone. Thank you to everyone who subscribed and regularly watches my videos. It is incredible, and I'm so happy that you guys are tuning in every week and actually watch the stuff that I do. And I hope that I, in the future, can make a lot of content that you guys will enjoy as well. So let's start. Ivan van Bussel asks, if everything would be possible, what would be your biggest dream destination to visit on your bike? Much love and keep your channel growing. First of all, Ivan van Bussel is a viewer that watched my video from around 100 subscribers and commented quite regularly. So thanks for the continued support. It's amazing. And to the question, if money and everything wouldn't be an issue, what would be a few of my dream motorcycle destination options? It's a bit of a hard one to answer, that's why I will name multiple ones. First of all, I would love to do another motorcycle surf trip, maybe somewhere in Indonesia where the waves are breaking a bit different, or a bit odd sounding, but on Iceland I would love to do that as well, as the beaches there are so lonely, and I would love to take the bike then off-road again. Even though Iceland is very tough and it's more of an adventure than a vacation. But away from motorcycle surf trips, I would love to tour the US on a motorcycle. It sounds so simple. People could name all kind of crazy things, but I honestly would just love to tour the US, preferably on one of those really old Harleys, ideally with like a suicide shifter that you have to like reach down for and all that good stuff. I would love to do that. Yeah, kind of makes me think of this movie with Mickey Rourke where he rides his motorbike. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Unordinary World asked, why are you so cool? I don't know, but thanks for that question and thanks for the compliment. The next question is from Car DCC. Do you see yourself doing more off-road adventures in the future, and would you be tempted to go full ADV bike for those kinds of trips? So that's a really good question, because I of course would love to do more off-road focused trips, and I love the idea of that. And I've actually been thinking about that more and more the last few days, as one of you gave me the opportunity to review a very light adventure bike that would be in my price range, because that's the big issue. Most of the small ADV bikes like the Honda CRF can be quite pricey if you get them actually trip ready, and I recently had the chance to ride the Voji 300 Rally, and since then the idea didn't really leave my mind, and I would love to ride somewhere to like from here to Cape Town. I would love to do that on like a light enduro. That wouldn't be like a full off-road trip, but like would be a trip that every once in a while would feature quite a lot of off-roading. I would love to do that. Also, I would love to go off-roading in Canada and parts of the USA, but of course money is always an issue, you know, and yeah, but for those kind of trips I would love to go on a full off-road adventure, and also would consider a light ADV bike. And I would also love to do maybe some off-road trips with maybe not a full ADV bike and get creative with those kinds of concepts. So a bit of a different style of question from Riding Reels. What helped turn your vanity YouTube channel sub 1,000 subscribers to a professional YouTube channel more than 1,000 subscribers? Was it content or marketing or both? So a lot to unpack here. First of all, my YouTube channel is not a professional YouTube channel, as this stuff does make very little money. And if you look at it from a business perspective, I'm actually 12 grand in the minus. So very far away from a professional YouTuber. It would probably still take me like 120,000 subscribers more and the adequate views to actually pull that off. To your question, how I managed to grow my channel beyond that. The answer to that question is quite unspectacular. If you look at like YouTube advice videos, there's this whole YouTube advice niche, which is in my opinion, 80% bullshit, as it's something that kind of came up during the pandemic when many people started YouTube channels, and most of the advice is like, make better videos, and most people who do videos here quite regularly make good videos. I would say it came through me uploading every week and trying to be creative with the concepts. And of course, the more videos you do, the better you get at all the other stuff like thumbnails and so on. So a bit of a unspectacular answer. It was a bit of quantity, I would say. Riding Reels, I had a look at your channel. You're doing good. You do good content as well. So the next question comes from Stuart Martin. Congrats, it was your XJ600 videos that convinced me to get one last year. So I know you originally contemplated removing the fairing on the XJ600 and making it a naked bike, but then changed your mind as the wind protection was okay. Any thoughts on doing this though as a content project? Actually, yes, and I've been planning this for quite some time. I just couldn't pull it off yet. I have two Yamaha XJs, one that I'm currently in the process of repairing but couldn't make any update videos on as I am in the process of finding someone to help me adjust the valves, and I actually have found someone, but right now I don't have the time because I have to make YouTube videos, have to want to do a new tour, and also I have to work to finance all this stuff. But in general, something like that is planned. I also have a second Yamaha XJ that I bought just for that, because I think, even though I haven't tried it yet, the Yamaha XJ is the best platform to start with, like bike builds, as it's like super cheap, and if you mess it up you can just buy another one for 500 bucks. But the problem is the bike that I bought has a small few issues, and I still have to get the suspension and the brakes repaired, and I'm still in the process of doing that, but through lack of time it has kind of been a project now for over half a year that I'm doing behind the scenes. And if I would film this process of getting that bike roadworthy, it wouldn't be really interesting, as fixing small issues that can take up a whole evening or 2 days, you then can't really continue working on it, don't really make for good videos. But if I have the second Yamaha XJ roadworthy, I will probably do a cafe racer build out of that bike. So let's get to the next question from Break Roto. How difficult is it to drive with your bike at high speed with a surfboard on the side? Actually quite easy. Like, you don't really feel it. I thought this would be a lot of issues, and on the way back from Portugal, the weather was bad. I had a cold and just wanted to get home, and I drove the bike at 140 to 160 for 3 full gas tanks in bad weather with wind, and I had almost no issues. Also, when driving the bike quick in curves, the surfboard on the side didn't make many issues. You can lean the bike quite far, roughly to the point where the pegs start to scrape, but then you definitely have to stop, as if you touch the surfboard mount on the ground, it will probably not go well. So the next question from Famster92. Where do you get cinematic inspirations for your videos from? I love the POV when you fuel up. Thank you for appreciating these shots. The cinematic inspiration for the videos itself, I wouldn't say that I'm hugely cinematically inspired, even though I'm a huge movie geek about films. I love films, and some of those projects sometimes are cinematically inspired. For example, the motorcycle surf trip was kind of inspired by those Deus Ex commercials. Deus Ex is a company that does also films, but their main goal is to market clothes, basically, and they do those huge lifestyle productions of motorcycles and surfing, and it seems like the biggest load of bollocks basically ever produced. But watching this, I was like, I'm going to do this for real. I'm going to try if that actually works. And I didn't expect the motorcycle surf trip to work that well, but in the end it worked very, very well and was very easy to do, actually. Other projects like the Big Iceland film were also inspired by other projects I've seen. For example, when I had the idea to take my bike as a normal stock bike to Iceland, I watched a lot of Seaboys TV videos at the time, and I saw them just taking normal bikes and cars off road and trashing them, basically, which was not my intent, but I thought it would be fun to just take my bike and go to Iceland with it and basically have a similar approach there. Even though the videos turned out quite different in the end, and it was never the goal to get close to that or imitate in any way, but it's kind of how the ideas sometimes pop up when you scroll through your own list of content on YouTube. So the next question by Bricky Jazz. I apologize if I sometimes mispronounce your usernames. My question is, XJ600 or Interceptor 650? That's a really tough one, because of course I love my XJ and I haven't gotten it running again. And the thing that is amazing about the XJ, that it is so cheap that you can basically do everything with it. But at the same time, the constant anxiety of not knowing if the bike starts can be kind of tough, because one thing I've been really enjoying about the Interceptor, also in my private life outside of YouTube, I can just walk up to it, get on it and start it, and it drives. No push starting, no weird sounds, no does it start, does it not start. And so it's kind of a draw between the two bikes. I actually wanted to make a full video on this, and I probably will at some point. Stay tuned for that. So the next question from Daniel Dondrup. Do you change your own tires? Seems like a thing I should learn. Well, I don't change my own tires as I don't have a tire changing machine, but I, in recent times for the Interceptor, had a contact where someone helped me change the tires. That was not a full big mechanic shop, which is really nice, as that can get quite pricey. And at the topic of changing tires, the whole tires change thing with the TKC80 tires on the XJ and now the new tires on the Interceptor can be quite a nightmare, especially in my home country, as I have to get those tires registered with the TÜV, the Roadworthiness Association, and it is a bit of luck on who tests your bike for that, and it's kind of you need to know a guy who knows a guy type situation often, or they just say randomly no to everything and it costs a lot of money. So I feel for you, and I get the desire to be able to change your own tires, but getting them registered is also not fun. So huge envy to everyone who doesn't live in Germany when it comes to changing tires on your motorcycle. The next question from Bene, who rented me the Suzuki V-Strom for a video. Thanks again for that. What was the biggest lesson you learned by traveling? That's a tough one. And I have to be honest, I kind of don't know. I always traveled for the enjoyment of travel and not really to learn something about myself, as I know many people learned something about themselves. And I recently was at a high school reunion and everyone was like, oh, what did you learn from solo travel? And I'm like, yeah, a lot of people go on solo traveling to find themselves, but I have found myself already. I don't need to search for any kind of answers while traveling. So one thing that can be said is, one thing that you learn through this is being at peace with your own and without anyone around. So that is something that you definitely learn through this. So the next question from Kai Lauber. Best tips for riding long distances. All in all, really look out for your back and your body position. Maybe get your rucksack off your back, and also check out the No Bullshit Motorcycle Travel Tips videos that I made up in the right hand corner. And another question from Razvan8. I have to translate this one, it's in another language. To be completely honest, how much money did you spend on your Morocco trip? I have to think about it, because I haven't really measured it, but I had many things that I spent on the Morocco trip, also because I bought the XJ for the Morocco trip. I just bought the cheapest bike I could and got a ADAC membership for that. So I would say the whole travel on itself would be around 1,800, 1,600 bucks. But I also stayed for 2 weeks with my parents on in their place where they had their vacation. And I didn't calculate that in now, otherwise the price would of course be higher. But then I also had other expenses like the motorbike itself, some camera equipment, and the editing software and the laptop that I then bought for making the videos. The next question from William Maciel Schaefer, PB4LY. How is your planning for the trips? How is it going, the plans for the next one? I'm currently in the process of planning my next trip. I will probably roughly get going in 2 to 3 weeks, and I will not completely say yet where I'm going, but I will be heading east. Thank you for all the questions you guys sent in. I really liked that you sent in a quite diverse amount of questions and not always the same questions, which was really nice. I only had like one question twice. So props to you guys for that. And thank you for following me along on my trips. And now having given me 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube, I plan on continuing to grow the channel, and I want to upload loads of more videos to the degree that is possible for me. So I hope that we can get going together. So I hope that we can continue growing together. And thank you for all the love and support. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the next one. If you want to support the work that I do here even more, you can feel free to sign up to my Patreon and check out the links in the description. See you soon.